I survived for 100 days on sea ice in Rimworld, and it was horrible. 100 days with constant freezing temperatures, therefore no farming, almost no wild animals, no stone or steel deposits, and traders hardly ever visit. The rules of this challenge are pretty straightforward. First, the starter pawn has to survive 100 days, no leaving the map tile, and gameplay altering mods are not allowed. Which I already screwed up because I forgot I had some clothing mods installed. So, with that out of the way, we made an ideology fit for surviving on an ice sheet, excessively mashed the randomized character button to finally choose Duck, named after one of my subscribers. So without further ado, this is how Duck survived for 100 days on sea ice. Duck landed in the snow.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Because it was already minus 20 degrees and he only had a shirt on. Quickly he built himself a shelter using the silver, so he wouldn't waste his precious wood and steel. The campfire was the last vital part of staying alive in these weather conditions. With an indoor temperature of 25 degrees, he had a safe place to recover from hypothermia, which made it possible to stay outside for brief periods of time. In the final hours of the first day, Duck built himself a research bench, a table and a bed, and went to sleep. Trees don't grow on sea ice, so on day 2 Duck built a heater and a wind turbine to replace the campfire. After that he started researching batteries, which he did for the remainder of the second day. Despite the harsh place he was in, Duck was a happy man. He didn't really care about his horse though, which he totally ignored. He decided to butcher the horse so it wouldn't roam away, and filled the rest of his time with researching. The very next day, Duck decided to actively fight the cold. He started crafting the remains of his lovely horse into a pelt coat. How adorable. But before he was able to finish it, he was suddenly interrupted by a raider. Stored under a small roof area next to the base, the raider will patiently wait until it gets eaten. Using raiders as food is great on sea ice because it's the only semi-reliable food source on the map. 2 visitors came by and started fighting an Arctic wolf. Sometimes it's just more beneficial to not help your allies out. With his new fashionable and more importantly warm attire on, Duck continued his research for batteries. On day 6, a paralyzed girl wanted to join the colony. Sure you can. As food. After properly naming the colony, Duck built her a tiny prison and imprisoned her. He finished his horse coat as well as the battery research and built a battery. The cold temperature should no longer be an issue. Duck was a businessman at heart. Or do I have to say lung? With only 2 skill points in medicine, he decided to try and take one of Tony's lungs. And succeeded!
Oh my god!
With his new merchandise in stock, he was ready to sell it to the traders, who conveniently arrived the next morning. He decided to not buy anything and save some money for the next trader, if they would ever come. After the successful trade, it was time for Tony to go. Duck harvested her heart, built a stove and made her into a hot dog. After a pretty successful start, Duck was ready to take on anything. He started building a small freezing area because keeping your food outside makes it taste a bit odd. Who could have guessed? Out of pure loneliness, Duck built himself a new friend, which we called Arnold. Why are you looking at me like that, Arnold? To be less reliant on the exquisite human meat, Duck wanted to install some hydroponics basins that he just researched. But remembered that he did not have any steel to make them out of. You see, there's no mountains or hills on sea ice, and we are not allowed to leave the map tile. The only ways of obtaining steel on sea ice are via trading, a fallen ship chunk, or smelting slag chunks. None of which being available to us at this moment. So without much else to do, back to the paper flipping table it is. Right after defeating this pesky raider. Thanks to his horrible shooting skills, Duck had to kite this man around the map for hours. But he managed to kill the intruder in the end. Quickly now, Duck, you go back to doing fun stuff. And what are you looking at? In the next few days, not much has happened. Actually, nothing happened for this whole freaking season. You see, raiders tried a raid, but they failed. People wanted to join the colony, but they ended up as food. People that crashed in drop pods ended up as food. This would be the endless cycle, only interruptible by a trader that would bring in steel. Spoiler alert, the trader didn't come. That's right, I spent hours of my life looking at this dude staring at his desk while waiting for a trader to trade in these chairs for supplies for advancement. And nothing happened. So there you are, 100 days. Goodbye Duck, goodbye Arnold, and goodbye Sea Ice. Until never again. Oh, the next challenge better be more fun to play. Oh well, thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video.